Welcome back to EDI Simplified. In this video, we will focus on one of the most important foundations of EDI, segments and elements. If you are ever looked at an EDI file and felt overwhelmed by the symbols and codes, this video is for you. By the end, you will clearly understand how an EDI message is structured at the lowest level. Let's start with some basic definitions. A segment is a single line or a record in an EDI message. It always begins with a segment identifier and contains multiple data elements. An element is a single data field inside a segment. Some elements are composite elements, meaning they contain smaller subfields called components. All of these are separated using delimiters, and those delimiters vary depending on the EDI standard. Here's a real EDIFACT example. At the first glance, this may look complex, but it's simply a sequence of segments, each ending with an apostrophe. Each segment starts with a code like UNH, BGM or DTM, followed by elements separated by plus signs. When you see colons, those indicates components inside a composite element. Once you understand the separators, the message becomes much easier to read. Let's break down the EDI delimiters used in this example. The segment terminator is the apostrophe. The element separator is the plus sign. The component separator is the colon. A dot is used as the decimal separator, and the question mark acts as a release character, allowing reserved symbols to appear as data. These characters are usually defined in the UNA segment at the start of the interchange. Now, let's compare this with an X12 message. In X12, segments end with a title, and elements are separated by asterisks. Sub-elements or components are typically separated by colons, while the visual appearance is different. The concept is exactly the same: segments, elements, and optional components. Qualifiers are short codes that gives meaning to data. For example, NAD plus BI in EDIFACT or NI with BI in X12 both indicates the buyer. Usage indicators define whether a segment element is mandatory or conditional, depending on the implementation guide. Repeat counts define how many times a segment or element may appear, which is critical for validation and mapping. Each data element also has a defined data type and length. Common data types include numeric, alphanumeric, dates, and decimals. LENGHTS rules specify minimum and maximum size, which helps prevent truncation and data quality issues. Ignoring these rules is one of the most common causes of EDI validation errors. EDI validation happens at multiple levels. First, there is a syntax validation, which checks segment orders, delimiters, and element formats. Next comes business validations, such as checking whether quantity times price equals line total or whether the purchase order exists. Acknowledgments messages reports these results like CONTRL in EDIFACT or 99.7 and 99.9 in X12. Some flows also include applications level acknowledgments like APERAK. Common pitfalls. There are a few common mistakes that beginners often make. Misreading delimiters, ignoring release characters, or assuming all segments are mandatory can quickly lead to errors. Another common pitfall is confusing standards rules with trading partners' specific requirements. Always rely on the implementation guide, not just the standard documentation. A good way to learn EDI is to parse a message manually. Take one segment at a time, identify the segment code, then split the element using the delimiters. After that, break composite elements into components and apply the qualifiers. This approach builds confidence and makes troubleshooting much easier. Now that you understand segments and elements, the next step is reading a full EDI message line by line. In the next video, we will walk through a complete EDIFACT orders or X12 850 message, explain every segment in context.
Thanks for watching this video. We appreciate you spending time with us. If you enjoyed it, subscribe for more like this. Hit notification bell to never miss updates. Your support helps us create more engaging videos. Subscribe now